here's another high and lofty comment, and this will be my last one, Kip, I promise. Artisans don't desire or seek attention for themselves. If they care to be acknowledged at all, they do so because they want to be considered for their work's sake. In effect, they say here, look at this thing, not me. See what I have made. I am not of any consequence. And so obviously, we want to put our stamp of individuality on our art, but the balance of that versus self-consequence. Comments? Thoughts?
I can. It's working in theater. It's a weird kind of thing, much like singing and whatnot. It is you literally using your physical body in front of other people. I mean, that's part of what's on display, and so it's hard to kind of separate, and it gets super awkward. And but I think I usually try if I'm doing my job right. You see less of me, and you see more of either the story or more of yourself in the story. So it's really more of actor as window or actor as mirror kind of situation. But of course, I mean, that is completely muddied by the fact that no, it's Kate Holman standing there, saying these words. So it's a challenge, but I think it always helps me because I am the raw materials that I'm working with again are somebody else's words. It starts as somebody else's story, and it's just my take on it. So it helps me to remember. I mean, I'm not doing this in any kind of a vacuum at all. So yeah, it helping to kind of take that moment to say, okay, whose story is this? And is this my story at this moment? Is it the playwright's? What purpose am I serving? But all to get to the point of being able to show the audience, no, this is actually about you, or this is about a bigger story or something like that.
I can kind of get on board and kind of not get on board.
Great, love it.
I can get on board in that I want my work to live on its own in your house, and that your stories and your life integrate with it. And so oftentimes people will find things and see things in my work that I didn't put there, but it's there and it lives in their life in that way, and that's exactly what I want. But I also think that if you are making work that you are selling in the age of Instagram, like people want to be a part, they want the work because they're interested in you, that you made it.
Yeah, sure.
And so like you can put a painting on Instagram that someone would want, and even coming to an open studio, they want to see where you work. People want to be a part of that thing. They're not just buying an icon off the street. It's part of you.
Yeah.
So I can kind of see if you weren't trying to make a living or something, but
Right.
it's both.
Yeah. Because you have patrons. Yeah.
Yeah, I think people want that.
Sure. That's good. Any thoughts? Any additional thoughts?
So I was all about the whole, I'm going to disappear as an artist. And then I didn't sign any of my work for a show I had. And I made a lot of people really upset when they brought the work back to their homes and realized it wasn't signed. And so then I had to go track people down and sign pieces. And the whole time I was felt just a little frustrated because I really did feel this sense of a disattachment from the work. Like I made it, and then it was there, and that was really all that weird to me, but so I guess in that sense I still feel a little torn. I do sign my work now. And then I also think, I'm also just always amazed at how differently people view a piece of work than how I view it. Some of my least favorite pieces have sold really quickly, and then some that I just thought were the best things I've ever done have sat in my studio for months and months. So I'm always really surprised by just how anything I think I have in the work could just be very different from what someone else thinks is in the work.
Everybody likes a little attention, you know. Can't lie. Artists can be real showy, and sometimes they're also very reclusive, and sometimes it's a mixture, it's a combination. I think that in order to understand and accept the idea of having patrons and people that want to collect your work, and that you need to be personable. That's one of the things that people would like to see from you. They want to feel like they know the artist in some way, which is really nice. But you read and you hear stories about lots of famous artists in the past who were probably not the most fun people to be around. And then you hear about how they never sold any work while they were alive, and that's terrible. I feel bad for them. No wonder they were so miserable. But anyway, getting back to the point about how people can often see things in your work that you weren't expecting, that's one of the things that I think is especially magical about this experience, is that you might have something in mind specifically when you're producing a work, and then you put it out there, and then to have people bring their own experiences or their own interpretations to the piece is especially rewarding, because then that piece goes out and has its own life, which is pretty interesting. I'm not sure what that's like for in performance, because I'm sure that it's nice when you're singing and you feel particularly great, and you look out and you see nodding heads and people with these beatific expressions, then you know you must be doing something right, and that must feel really good. The artist doesn't, a visual artist doesn't always get to have those kind of experiences, because we put our stuff up, and a lot of times we're not even there when people are viewing it. So what you folks do, because it exists in real time, it's a moment of experience that you're sharing with yourselves and the audience, and that's particularly special kind of attention, and of sort of a visceral moment that must be very gratifying. So I'm jealous of all of you.